For centuries, the British Crown has guarded diplomatic secrets, but one of the most sophisticated remained hidden in plain sight. Elizabeth II created a unique communication code where every piece of clothing carried deep political meaning. This secret language allowed the Queen to speak to the world without saying a word, influencing the fate of nations through colors and symbols. Behind elegant outfits lay a system capable of preventing conflicts. But the true complexity of this code exceeded all expectations. Before we begin, don't forget to share your city in the comments. We're curious to know where royal luxury enthusiasts live. And if you hit like and subscribe, that would be the best reward for our small channel. In a world where every gaze focuses on royal figures, clothing stops being just fabric and becomes language. Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, and of her other realms and territories, head of the Commonwealth, defender of the faith, transformed her wardrobe into the most sophisticated diplomatic tool of modern times. Over 70 years of reign, she created a unique style philosophy where every shade carried a message, every brooch told a story, and every silhouette shaped the perception of an entire era. For imagined power that needs no words, the power of color, form, symbol. Angela Kelly, longtime keeper of the royal wardrobe and the monarch's closest trusted confidant, once revealed a secret that explains the phenomenal impact of Her Majesty's style. The Queen must be easily visible to as many people as possible when she goes out in public, so I choose mainly bright colors. This apparent simplicity concealed the deepest communication strategy, surpassing any political manifesto in effectiveness. When millions of eyes focus on a single figure, every detail takes on symbolic meaning. The Queen intuitively understood in the age of mass communications, a monarch must be not just visible, but unforgettable. Her Majesty's bright outfits became beacons in a sea of official events, allowing every subject to instantly identify their queen among crowds of accompanying figures. The path to this mastery began in the 1940s, when young Princess Elizabeth, not yet suspecting the coming crown, formed an understanding of how appearance could serve higher purposes. Wartime taught her to value practicality without sacrificing elegance. The patterned dresses with ruffled collars of that period reflected a special philosophy. Beauty must exist even in the darkest times, inspiring and supporting the nation's spirit. The Girl Guide uniform worn by the future Queen in 1943 became a prophetic metaphor for her entire subsequent life. Service as the highest form of self-expression. Even then, it became clear that for Princess Elizabeth, clothing was never a manifestation of vanity, but always a conscious choice reflecting inner principles. The wedding dress of 1947, created by Norman Hartnell, inspired by Botticelli's Primavera, marked the beginning of a new era in royal style. The intricate ivory silk creation with a 15-foot train embroidered with pearls and crystals symbolized the arrival of spring not only in nature but in the monarchy. Gold and silver threads depicting wheat and flowers carried a message of prosperity and hope in post-war Britain. The gray suits of the late 40s Malta period demonstrated the future monarch's ability to adapt to circumstances while maintaining royal dignity. Pearl necklaces, which became the princess's constant companion, already formed a recognizable visual code that would later become an integral part of the royal image. The transition from experimental youth to mature royal style happened gradually but steadily. In the 1950s, Her Majesty began developing that very bright color strategy that would later become her calling card. The black and white dress at the royal premiere of the musical Because You're Mine in 1952 caused a real sensation. Magazines competed to print photos of the monarch, and manufacturers released copies of this outfit. Thus was born the understanding of how royal fashion could influence mass consciousness. The coronation dress in 1953 became a true encyclopedia of the British Empire embodied in fabric. Norman Hartnell created a masterpiece where every decorative element represented territories the young queen would now rule. Green, pink, and yellow shades combined into a complex palette created from silk threads, pearls, diamonds, amethysts, and sequins. 3,000 hours of work by 6 skilled embroiderers created not just a dress, but a symbol of multinational empire unity. Elizabeth II's color diplomacy deserves separate study. The emerald green dress chosen for the first royal visit to Australia in 1954 was no accident. Green symbolized connection with the continent's nature and respect for its unique culture. The dress for the gala performance at the Paris Opera in 1957, decorated with French national colors and a bee, Napoleon's emblem, demonstrated subtle understanding of historical allusions and diplomatic nuances. Each international visit required careful study of the host's cultural codes. The Queen transformed her wardrobe into an instrument of soft diplomacy, where color choices spoke louder than political declarations. This was a revolution in understanding the monarch's role in the modern world, from passive symbol to active participant in international dialogue. The meeting with President John Kennedy and his wife Jacqueline in 1961 at Buckingham Palace became an example of how outfit could express equality in superpower dialogue. The royal blue tulle dress by Hartnell, complemented by diamonds and sapphires, created an image of dignity without superiority display, exactly what was needed for successful Cold War diplomacy. The white taffeta dress, first presented at a state dinner in Rome in 1961, then at the Lawrence of Arabia premiere, demonstrated an important principle of royal wardrobe: the ability to give one outfit different meanings depending on context. Later, this dress found new life in Princess Beatrice's wardrobe, showing how royal traditions pass through generations. Particular attention deserves Prince Charles's investiture ceremony in 1969. Norman Hartnell created a deliberately restrained image: a pale yellow dress and coat with stand-up collar, complemented by a Tudor-style hat by Simone Merman. This decision emphasized the moment's importance for the dynasty, allowing the ceremony to speak for itself rather than being overshadowed by royal outfit luxury. The 1970s brought new challenges in royal protocol. The portrait honoring the Silver Jubilee in 1977 required creating an image that would reflect a quarter-century of successful reign. The richly decorated white gold dress and red velvet cloak with fur lining, complemented by King George VI's crown, created a majestic image of monarchical power continuity. Particular attention deserves the Queen's evolving relationship with color symbolism in the context of political events. When in 1979 Her Majesty appeared in Zambia in beige trousers, an extremely rare choice for her, this became a signal of readiness for informal dialogue and understanding of African continent realities. The cream blouse with gold, crimson, and blue patterns demonstrated respect for local traditions through bright color integration. The journey to Saudi Arabia that same year required a completely different approach. A series of modest images created by Hardy Amies and Frederick Fox showed royal style's ability to adapt to cultural features without losing its own identity. Notably, the long dresses from this tour were later shortened for royal ascot, demonstrating the practical and economical approach to the royal wardrobe. Collaboration with leading British designers became the cornerstone of the Queen's style strategy. Norman Hartnell, Hardy Amies, and later Stuart Parvin and Angela Kelly, each of these masters contributed to creating the unique royal style. Long-term partnerships allowed developing understanding between monarch and designer, creating unique creative dialogue where Her Majesty's personal preferences harmoniously combined with state protocol requirements. The brown tones of the Windsor Horse Show in 1981, where the Queen was spotted with a camera, showed another facet of her style philosophy: the ability to look natural and approachable to subjects while maintaining royal dignity. The patterned headscarf became a symbol of connection with simple life pleasures. The 80s and 90s marked further complication of Her Majesty's visual language. The meeting with President Ronald Reagan and Nancy Reagan in San Francisco in 1983 required particularly careful outfit selection. The floor-length dress with voluminous sleeves, white opera gloves, and sparkling tiara created an image meant to emphasize monarchical tradition's strength in dialogue with a young republic. The lavender feather decoration chosen for the Solomon Islands visit, 1982, became one of the most unusual hats in the royal wardrobe. Combined with the polka dot dress, this image demonstrated the monarch's readiness for creative experiments and respect for Pacific culture's exotic beauty. The trousers and blazer of the Royal Windsor Horse Show in 1988 showed how royal style could adapt to active lifestyle requirements. The green, red, and white patterns of the favored headscarf became the Queen's signature, an instantly recognizable detail that appeared in the most informal situations. A revolutionary moment was the Queen's appearance in Carl Ludwig Race's multicolored ensemble at the Royal Variety Performance in Birmingham in 1999. This image entered history as one of the most memorable and bold, demonstrating the monarch's readiness for fashion experiments on the threshold of the new millennium. The beginning of the 21st century brought new challenges and new opportunities for style expression. The bright ensembles of the Jamaican tour in 2002, Orange by Hardy Amy's and Purple Floral Set, showed how mature royal style could combine traditional elegance with tropical joy. Cream handbags by Loner became constant companions of these images, demonstrating loyalty to proven brands and quality. The historic visit to Ireland in 2011 gained special significance. The bright green jacket and hat by Stuart Parvin and Rachel Trevor Morgan became powerful symbols of reconciliation. Choosing the Irish national color for the first royal visit in a century transformed a fashion choice into a political statement about desire for peace and cooperation. The grandchildren's weddings provided the Queen opportunities to demonstrate family style evolution. Angela Kelly's pale yellow creation for Prince William and Kate Middleton's wedding in 2011, and later Stuart Parvin's lime green ensemble for Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's ceremony in 2018, showed how traditional colors could acquire contemporary sound. The turquoise tones of the Trooping the Color ceremony in 2020 and the Westminster Abbey Thanksgiving service in 2021 witnessed the continuing creative evolution of royal style. Even during the pandemic, Her Majesty continued using color as an instrument for maintaining the nation's morale. The final images of her reign, from the lime green dress in the Platinum Jubilee portrait to the blue outfit with white embroidered details in final public appearances, witness the monarch's undiminished creative energy. Even at 96, Her Majesty continued using clothing as a communication instrument, combining age dignity with future optimism. Elizabeth II's style legacy extends far beyond simple fashion influence. She created a new paradigm of royal representation where appearance serves as a bridge between monarchical traditions and democratic expectations. Her lessons in color diplomacy, symbolic communication, and cultural adaptation became the foundation for the next generations of the British royal family. In the era of social media and instant image distribution, the ability to speak through visual images becomes a critically important skill. Elizabeth II was ahead of her time, transforming wardrobe into a universal language understood by all cultures and generations. Elizabeth II's wardrobe code proved to be one of the most brilliant diplomatic instruments in monarchy history. 70 years of flawless reign proved that true power needs no loud words when every color can change the world. The British crown created a legacy that will be studied for centuries as an example of elegant politics and refined strategy. If you're fascinated by royal court secrets and the hidden mechanisms of power, join those who appreciate the depth of history behind ceremonial facades.